In the automotive world, you often hear positive risk balance, PRB, which is a gamma approach that's utilitarian. It says, take a look at the net risk of human drivers, and as long as you're at least as good or no worse than them, then it should be okay. Well, what are the numbers? The numbers from 2019 in the US are 36,000 fatalities. That's gotten a bit higher in the last couple of years, although it's unclear if that's a temporary or permanent increase, but still 36,000, 40,000 fatalities is a lot of fatalities for the population. However, if you look at it on a per mile basis, one fatality per 100 million miles is actually pretty impressive for anything to be able to drive in a chaotic world. There are a lot of injuries. Many of those injuries are certainly life-altering, so reducing the injuries is just as important as reducing the fatalities and quite a number of crashes. So this is sort of our baseline. If you want to say no worse than a human driver, these are the kind of numbers you're working with. By the way, it's important to realize these numbers include drunk drivers, speeders, no seatbelts. We'll get to that on the next slide, but you need to start thinking about what does it mean to have a baseline driver? Do you want to be as good as the average driver, or maybe you need to be better than that? We'll get to that in a moment. As an aside, while you're testing, if a test program has 10 million miles, on average, that means you should only have about 1/10 of a fatality. That means that most companies should expect 0 fatalities from their testing. The notion that it's okay to have a fatality or two while you're developing the technology is not taking a look at the numbers. If testing should be no more dangerous than other human drivers, that means almost no company should have any fatalities at all during their test program. But given all these things going on, with all these drivers that are not ideal drivers, which driver do you pick as an average? And under what conditions, driving which vehicle? So let's go into that for a moment.